Hey everybody, welcome to the Falcon one-shot. Today we're taking a look at the Yawhg. If you're wondering what the Yawhg's all about, I will explain that really shortly. Normally for the Falcon one-shot, I normally try to focus on games that have just either released or going through the process and development of release itself. We're using it today as a little bit of a platform to actually show off a game that I personally didn't really give too much attention to when it first came out, and maybe some of you guys didn't as well, and it's something that I've discovered over time, and I'm like, you know what, this seems pretty interesting, let's show it off a little bit here. The Yawhg is kind of a lot like 60 Seconds, and I think that's the reason why I'm coming back to the Yawhg right now, because playing 60 Seconds kind of gave me a little bit of an affinity for that type of game. With 60 Seconds, you are basically dealing with the repercussions of a big major event that went on. With the Yawhg, what you're trying to do is actually prevent and actually prepare for the big event that's going to happen. So all that said and done, let's get in here and show you what the Yawhg's all about. I should note, by the way, that the Yawhg is kind of it can, as you can see over here, press the direction and the controller, blah 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 blah. But what's really cool about this is it's a multiplayer game as well, so if you actually play with a few friends, it's a little bit more fun because you can actually choose all the characters that you're seeing right now, and you can all kind of work either in unison or maybe even against each other to actually prevent the Yawhg or prepare for the Yawhg itself. What the Yawhg is, well, we don't really know. We have to find out what the Yawhg's all about. So right now, since I'm playing by myself because I have no friends, as we've established so many times before, I get to choose two people right now to go forward. And I'm going to go with this sassy individual over here, and Mustachio Man as well. I think that's a pretty good choice for us. Let's go ahead and start. The Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives week by week, unaware. Alrighty, so again, that's kind of setting up the groundwork over here. So I believe we have 6 weeks to kind of prepare for the Yawhg. The way you prepare for the Yawhg itself is you take all of your individuals and you kind of run them through either the forest, arena, alchemy tower, gardens, all the places you see on the side over here, and you will engage in different type of jobs that actually lead to different type of results, RNG based stories, etc, which will actually raise your stats over here to the side. Wealth, magic, charm, all of these will have a particular type of effect at the ending of the game itself. Some are better than others, but that's for us to actually find out which ones are the ones that are going to actually help us out the most here. So right now we have, let's see here. We have Mustachio Man that we have to choose with first here, right? So we have a few different choices we could actually go with here. Mustachio Man, let's see. You seem like a guy who would really enjoy a good drink. So let's take you over to the tavern here and see what we could actually open up for you. So we have two choices. Once you pick a location you want to go with, you kind of usually get two choices. Right now we have the choice to either bartend and drink. And by bartending, you could probably imagine you will be doing a job, so you're probably getting some wealth. However, don't worry about that by yourself, because sometimes you will trigger other events that will actually increase other stats. Again, it's really RNG based in that regard, so we really don't know what any of these will actually do. But because this guy seems to be more of a drinker than a bartender himself, I'm going to go ahead and choose drink over here. You spend the entire week getting wasted. You gain 2 charm and 1 physique. One day a fortune teller sets up at one of the tavern tables. She offers to read anybody's fortune for a small sum. So right now we have a choice now. We want to get our fortune read. We would basically say yes please, and then we'd have to sacrifice 1 wealth. The unfortunate thing is we have no money to our name, so I really can't do this one. Let's see if we try choosing it just because we don't have, see what happens if you choose it. You don't have enough money to pay. Upon realizing this, she shoos you away from her table. Oh well, she's probably a hack anyway, you think to yourself. You gain 1 mind, so there you go. You can't necessarily sometimes trigger every single event, but some of them will lead to other positive things like this one. Some of them will be negative as well, so it's kind of up to you to find out what's going to happen here. Alrighty, so we've gotten his week out of the way. We're going to go back to the sassy individual over here, and we're going to go with, you know what, I think I like her in the alchemy tower, probably brewing some potions for us as a matter of fact here. You spend a week experimenting with different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and 1 mind. One day while in the tower, one of the alchemists asks you to watch his potion while he's out. Soon after he leaves, the potion begins bubbling out of control. If you don't do something soon, it'll explode. So do we throw it out the window, or do we drink the bubbling potion? Again, you're not going to necessarily come to a serious game over, but again, every single thing that you do choose has a little bit of a repercussion to it. I don't think I would drink a bubbling potion that might explode, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out the window maybe. You know what, let's be experimental, let's fucking drink it, let's be ballers about this. You quickly drink the potion, your stomach can't seem to handle the potion, fire erupts out of your esophagus, and for a solid minute you're shooting a jet of fire from between your lips. That burns. You lose 2 physique. What a learning experience though. You gain 1 mind. Alright, so we lost some physique, but we got some more mind out of that. And that's kind of what I'm focusing with her, kind of get her down to magic mind path, so that's pretty good. Alrighty, so here we go. They say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured houses whole, stole lives to families and family members apart. But that was so very long ago. Alrighty, so here we go. Little by little, we will find out what the Yawhg's all about too as we go along here. So we have week 2. Mustachio Man, what are you going to be doing this time around? I'd imagine after a week of hard drinking, you'll probably go to the slums now, and you are going to think that you're Batman, and you're going to be fighting crime now. So let's go with fighting crime. You spend a week outsmarting and beating up criminals. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and 1 finesse. One night, you hear a woman whisper at you from nearby. Oh, good God, that does not seem like a good idea. Hey, you, she calls out. Looking to make a bit of coin? That looks really bad for us right now. But you know what? If a strange, dark, pale woman in the middle of the night asks me if I want to make some money, and apparently there's blood in the corner of her lip, I would probably say absolutely, baby. She signals for you to come into the alleyway with her. Come closer, she says. Nobody else can hear what I'm about to tell you. You lean in close, eager to learn how you'll be earning this coin. She presses herself right up against you, moving her lips slowly towards your ear. Suddenly, she bites your neck viciously. Blood pours from the wound, and she clings to you tightly, lapping it all up. You black out. When you come to, you see her standing over you. Thanks, she says, tossing you a couple of coins. You gain 1 wealth. She then melts into the shadows. When you feel your neck, you notice your wound has completely healed. Your body feels ice cold. You gain 3 charm, though. You lose 3 physique. Oh, good God, we're losing physique left and right here. So, that woman apparently just used me. Now, what we should note here is that if you choose one area for a certain individual, the other people cannot actually use that event or that same location for that same week. You have to wait the next week over. So after her work at the Alchemy Tower, let's go ahead over to the palace, maybe, and do some administration work. I think that's good. You spend a week doing paperwork for the palace. You're paid 2 wealth and you gain 1 mind. One day the court jester approaches you. Would you like to learn to juggle? He asks excitedly. I'll teach you everything I know for a small sum, so I would pay him to learn how to juggle. Maybe we'd get some finesse out of this one? Do we want finesse though? Let's go ahead and say no thanks. Says the jester. He walks away disappointed. That evening on the way home, you find a golden coin on the ground. What luck! You gain 1 wealth, and there you go. Alrighty. It was on us in this heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook, the air went still. Alrighty. Week 3. So, Mustachio Man, you have drank heavily, you've apparently been accosted by a vampire. Where do we go from this point? I'm gonna say you go to the arena now, and you are going to compete in some fights, my man. You spend the week fighting brutes in the arena, you gain 2 physique and 1 finesse. Over the course of the week, you've noticed your skin become paler and your teeth sharper. You notice that whenever you talk, everyone nearby hangs on your every word. You gain 3 charm. You also feel more frail and gaunt than you used to. You lose 3 physique. One day you notice a woman tilting her head back, brushing her hair. Her neck fully exposed. You can even see a vein or 2. Delicious. Before you know it, you're coated in blood with a mangled form in front of you. There are dozens of people around and they're all filled with delicious nectar. The next few hours are a blur. You wake up the next day in a bedsheet soaked with blood that is not of your own. You look in the mirror and notice your skin has regained its color and that your teeth have dulled. That's going on with Mustachio Man over there. Alrighty. So that happened. We have our sassy individual now. Let's see, where do we go after this one? We've done Alchemy Tower, we got into the palace. Let's go to the hospital now. We could tend to the patients or we could do some cleanup. Let's do some tending to the patients as well. I want to have like a good person and a bad person. Obviously Mustachio Man's just, over there living life to the fullest, more recklessly, but she's basically our oyster in the shell. Oysters do come in shells, right? Or is the oyster the shell itself? I don't even know. The pearl inside of the oyster, that's probably what I meant. Anyway, you spend a week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. One day, the bloodletting leeches somehow escape from their containers. Leeches start flooding into the hallway. There are people screaming everywhere as these leeches slither towards them. Somebody do something, yells one of the doctors. You could zap the leeches with magic or you could use yourself as bait. Let's go ahead and use the zap just because we have a level of 7 in magic here. See if this works out. You wave your hand, unleashing a wave of magic to disintegrate the leeches. The leeches all poof into dust. You save the hospital with your quick thinking. You gain 1 mind. Alrighty, week 4. And then the world was a howling fury. Chaos, screaming. The sound of all we know being pulled in half. Alrighty, week number 4. So, this charming individual over here, obviously, look at that fucking beard on him. This charming big man of an individual here, where does he go after the arena? By the way, the arena's been wrecked completely. Was that my doing? Good God. I destroyed this arena completely after I mangled every single person in here, apparently. Let's go over to the... let's go to the gardens, find out what's happening. No, let's go to the forest. Forest sounds pretty good. We could chop down wood, or we could go into some hunting procedures here. Interesting. Chopping wood would probably require physique, which we've lost. If we do this, we probably gain some of it back, but at this point, it does seem like we should probably focus maybe on the other things that we're kind of excelling at, right? Let's go to hunt. You spend a week hunting defenseless critters. You gain 2 finesse and sell the pelts for 1 welt. One day you stumble upon a gigantic moss-covered stone. It pulses with a magical energy. What do? Fuck yeah, let's touch it. You lay your hand on the enormous object. The stone's magical energy shoots into your body. You gain 1 magic. Alrighty. We're back to our sassy individual over here. Let's go ahead and take her over to... Let's have her go to the slums? No. None of those seem pretty ideal. Let's see here. Let's go back to the alchemy tower. And let's try cleaning labs this time? Sure, why not? You spend a week cleaning up noxious chemicals. You're paid 1 welt for your labor and gain 1 physique and magic. One day you hear cries for help coming from the next room. Running over to the investigate, you see that the alchemists there have accidentally created an ooze monster. How do you dispatch the ooze? Punch the ooze into submission or blast the ooze with magic. Obviously we're focusing on magic, so we will go with that one. You pulverize the ooze into a puddle with an array of magical spells. The alchemists all cheer, you gain 1 charm. When it arrives this time, how will we fare? Will we once more rebuild, move on, be strong, or have we forgotten? Week 5, and as you can see, the map is indeed changing over here. There's a little bit of a weird, kind of eerie, mystical dust towards the bottom, cloud type of weird thing moving in towards us, so that's probably Yawhg getting closer and closer. You are going to go to the gardens now, and you're going to do some landscaping work, my friend. You spend a week maintaining the plants in the royal garden. You gain 1 finesse, 1 physique, and earn yourself 1 welt. One day, a beggar comes up to you asking for any spare change. Sure, why not? I'll be a kind, drunk man. You toss him a sack of coins, he loses 1 welt. He thanks you and walks away. The next night, you recognize him on the bench. You spot him eating what looks like a fresh roasted chicken. He sees you and smiles a toothless grin. You feel good about yourself. You gain 1 physique. You gain 1 finesse. You gain 1 mind. You gain 1 charm. You gain 1 magic. Oh, that was well worth it. Alrighty. So we have her as well. Where do we take her? Let's go into... Let's go to the hospital, and let's actually do some cleanup work here. Yeah, let's do some cleanup work. See what this one does now. You spend a week steeling your mind against the horrors of the hospital, making sure it is as clean as it can be. You gain 1 mind, 1 physique, and earn 1 welt. One day, a patient comes into the hospital with a sores that nobody's ever seen before. While walking by his bedside, he looks to you and rudely asks for a glass of water. Rudely? Well, you know what? You are sick, so, yes, I will get you the water. You bring him a small glass to quench his thirst. He takes a large sip, swings it around, and then proceeds to spit it at you. The water hits you right in the face. After cleaning up, you scold the obviously insane man for spitting at you. That night when you get home, you feel dizzy and start having vivid hallucinations about ancient wizards. You gain 3 magic. You lose 3 mind. Not sure if that was worth it, but I like 3 magic. I'm not sure if I like losing 3 mind, though. The Yawhg, it's almost here. Almost. Alrighty, and this will probably be the last week for us, and we will find out if we made some good choices here to prepare for the Yawhg itself. For the last one, we're going to go back to the slums, and we're going to actually do some... let's go back to the forest and do some chopping wood, maybe. Yeah. You spend a week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself 1 welt. One day you hear a howl nearby, followed by the rustling of leaves. What is it with me running into every single sort of, creepy crawly with this run? Do we run for it or do we stand and fight? Do I have enough physique for this? You know what, let's give it a try. You raise your weapon ready to fight whatever is out there. A blur leaps onto you from the bushes and knocks your weapon from your hands. The beast slashes open your chest. You black out. When you come to, your whole body feels warm, and the gash in your chest has disappeared. You lose 3 magic. You gain 3 physique. Probably worth it. Am I apparently now not only a vampire, but I'm also a werewolf? I think that's what I'm getting here. Anyway, so with her last one, we are going to go to the palace and maybe attend the ball over here. You spend a week attending fancy gatherings. You gain 2 charm and 1 finesse. Over the course of the week, you notice yourself growing more and more spiral-shaped sores all over your body. Oh, that's due to the event of the guy spitting on me. One day, the sores begin glowing a vibrant blue. You feel your magical power grow even stronger while your mind slips further and further. You gain 3 magic, you lose 3 mind. In no time, the sores are glowing so bright that they hurt to look at. Someone rushes up to you asking if you're alright. With only a glance, you set him aflame. Then you let out a scream that shakes the earth and shatters the skulls of all nearby. A river of blood coats the ground as you walk about, revealing in your destruction. You black out. When you come to, you're at home in your bed, your sores have faded, and you feel like the disease's symptoms have passed. The storm arrives in the night. By the morning, it still rages. For 3 full days, the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us, but then it ends. We see the graveyard our home has become, our home. Does anything yet live? Is it, are we, past saving? And the Yawhg, as you can see, has hit. Now it's up to us to choose these individuals that we've been leveling up here and give them the proper jobs to hopefully overcome this. So, right now, we have Mustachio Man, who has a lot of physique, a lot of finesse, and a lot of charm. What could he be with that? I'm going to say probably the leader with all that charm, right? You probably need a really charismatic leader, so I'm going to go with the leader for that one. You take it upon yourself to be the leader of the survivors. Immediately upon stepping in front of the crowd of able workers, you let out a howl. Your body contorts out of your control and fur erupts out of everywhere. Your teeth turn jagged and sharp. You gain 3 physique. Your grasp of the supernatural was lost, however. You lose 3 magic. All you could think of is how hungry you are. The next few hours are a blur. You wake up in the middle of the night surrounded by trees. You don't quite know what happened, but you're pretty sure it didn't help the survival effort. Oh, that choice, especially because I was werewolf man. Oh, good God. Well, for her, I guess we're going to probably go with, the Conjurer, perhaps. She has a lot of magic, right? You take it upon yourself to help conjure up supplies for your town. With your magic, you summon supplies of the highest caliber. With little effort, you're summoning high-quality lumber and food from out of nowhere. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly. And now we get the, fruits of our labor here. And so, we set about our task, once more living our lives, this time in a way we might never have expected or ever wanted. But in the end, we were defeated. Those of us left struggled to put our home to rights. But the effort was futile, doomed. The city blood survivors eventually becoming a husk, a dead thing. And perhaps the Yawhg was only partly to blame. Oh man, we just failed completely. We just completely botched this one badly. I blame Mustachio Charming Werewolf Man. Looking back at the ruins that were once your home, you decide that there's nothing worthy enough to be your prey there. Instead, you travel to foreign lands with plenty of healthy, fresh people to devour. Every full moon, you venture back into cities and drag a poor soul with your teeth deep into the forest. If they die, you devour them, bones and all. If they survive, however, you recruit them into your pack. You manage to gather a dozen powerful wolf beings into your command. What you plan to do with them is a mystery to even you. Oh man, Mustachio Man. Oh, she was the good one. You try your best to survive in this wasteland of a city, but to no avail. You die, unceremoniously, from starvation. Oh, no. No! The bad guy won! Oh, I mean, I guess he was good first and I turned him bad. I don't know. That is the Yawhg, guys. We will probably do one more run with the 2 other individuals, see what we do. But again, if you would like to see this kind of stick around as a little bit of a mini-series, let me know. But I will be doing one more episode just for an extended look at here. But that's the Yawhg. Tune in for the next one and we will see how we fare with that one. I will catch you next time.